Well, here we are with Riley. Riley is a nervous girl. She is scared of quite a lot. Some of the current issues, obviously, she was scared of this lawn. Wouldn't go onto this lawn, hadn't been on this lawn in over a year. Um, Obviously, I has tried a lot of things, and it was probably even inadvertently adding a little bit more pressure to the situation. So by trying to cajole her on and sort of ask her to come on and sort of be on there and what have you, it was probably just adding that little bit too much pressure for her to cope with. So then she probably became more averse to it. What we did in this session was, obviously she's, yeah, as you can see, she's on the grass here. Didn't really film the early bits because simply I just needed to be focused on her, watching her body language, watching for those signs that she was getting uncomfortable. So we did a lot of just playing around on the edge, throwing food along the edge so she could go in and just retrieve it from the slabs but not crossing that line, throwing toys, playing with toys on the edge. Some of the food did creep into it and she would eat the food from the edge, but you could see how tentative she was. Weight was held back away from that threshold of that. And even as you can see here, see how sister comes running on towards me, but Riley gets a little bit stuck and then just needs that little bit. But she comes over and she is not running away off the grass. There's a couple of times when she decides, no, like now, had enough. I'm just going to go and head off and go back to mum. And we let her. So it was really important that we let her have this proper space and time to just move off freely. So without any pressure, we came back on and it's kind of like, well, okay, we then re-engage with her. We do some things here. And you can see here that I'm just wandering on and I just sort of went to throw the toy on and actually she darted on first and she was looking at me, wanting me to throw. But again, I'm thinking that she might be a little bit stuck there, but I want to see if she's going to move and then throw the toy, and then she gets some movement. You'll see her come off and then she'll just hop over that last little bit. So again, she's still got a little bit of concern, but you see how quickly she just sprinted over that threshold line for that toy. So that was nice. You probably see it a little bit more clear there. She just hops over that last little bit. So there's just some little kind of aversion to it. So we've got to build her confidence slowly. So these would be short, sort of 3 to 5 minute sessions at a time. As you can see, I've cut this in. We went in, we played some games, we came out, we played some games, we mixed it up, we did various different things. Here she just made the decision to kind of step on, and I then threw the toy. I was probably a bit slow there. I probably should have rewarded her a lot quicker for that step onto the grass because that was a good decision that she made, but the reward still came. There she's run straight on. Again, I could have thrown the toy straight away, but I actually waited. And you can see that she's gone into the middle and then she's kind of stopped. And I think this is a bit attuned to her getting a little bit stuck and not knowing what to do once she's on there. So again, I'm mindful. I wanted to just observe what she was doing. Her sister was on there. But again, throw the toy, she goes and gets it. And then walks down the side, comes off. We re-engage again, throw her on. And we're getting to this stage now where she's happy to cross that threshold. So now we move on to a different engagement. I wanted to really start getting the handlers and owners sort of really involved on the process, so it's not just me. So again, here we got them onto a different toy. I think that was an old milking udder attachment that we used, and she was just playing with that. We got her to engage, and then we swapped on to another toy. She got some food in, so again we engage, we roll forward. So now it's obviously the owner is throwing the stuff on there, and you can see that she's stepping on and off. The key thing here is that when she makes that decision to step on, that's what delivers the reward. We could have used food, but food wasn't necessarily working so well here in terms of communicating and giving her a good emotional experience, because she does enjoy a bit of play. So we can use play in her modification program without any pressure. So you can see I bring a toy out, move it around. I'm wandering about with it. She's not necessarily following me onto the grass with it, but she is following the toy. But actually what was great here is that as I wandered on and she showed interest, she showed more interest back to her owner, which was great. And her owner then picked up the toy and started playing with it, as you can see here. And then we were able to bring her back onto the grass, play a little bit of tug. And you can see that she's on there. Then I said, you know, if she wants to pull off, we let her pull off the grass. But here she was more than happy to sort of spin on and pull, let her come off. And so the idea here is, again, that she's starting to feel those different surfaces under her paws. She comes on, she comes off, nothing bad's happening. She's having a great old time. She's enjoying herself, you know, and that's what was really key. So play is a really important component in sort of any behavior modification that we're trying to do. So as you can see here, We throw it on, then she's kind of stopped short, but I got the owner to go on very quickly afterwards and re-engage that toy, reanimate it. So it wasn't stuck there for too long, because it was like, oh, it's now stopped. What do I do? So go get it, reanimate it, and then obviously play with it. And then we stop, then we throw it to the side again. And you can see she goes over and then she kind of stops, gets stuck, but we reanimate it. And it's like, okay, do you want to play with it? She gets hold. And then if it's like, let's stop it short. So we don't want these sessions to become problematic. So we keep them nice and short. We break it off, and then we leave the area together if we need to. If she doesn't want to engage, we move back on. As you can see here, we just picked the toy up and then moved off, went on to something different. We did various different things. We mixed it up with toys and with food, but we just hung around that garden space with no real criteria, just letting Riley make decisions, but really praise and reward her for making those good decisions without nagging and pestering her to come on. So we took away the nagging and pestering. When I say nagging and pestering, I do mean that encouragement, you know, that just trying to encourage on, because it's kind of counterproductive with dogs. It doesn't work the same way as it does with humans. Here you can see I've gone to a food bias now, and what I did is I threw some food away, and then when she came back onto the grass, she got 5 pieces with me. So it was like 1 piece of food away from me, 5 pieces of food with me. So again, here we're with a sister, Rosie, who's a little sweetheart too. But again, we're just dropping some food around to see whether, you know, Riley can eat and sniff and get her nose working, because that's something that's really important on this grass. So if we can get her using her nose and getting her feeling really, really comfortable there, in time it'll just become normal and a normal transition. So yeah, so we worked through a lot of that, and it was about talking with the handlers to say, right, think about reward cycles, think about what we're doing, think about what are we reinforcing, and realistically we've got to make sure that we're not giving her so much attention when she's kind of not wanting to go on the grass, and we're then encouraging her. We actually just do nothing, and then when she makes those decisions to move forward to the grass, that's when we really pay her. So like now, she comes forward, she stops a little bit, has a look, her sister's with me, and then she goes, oh, do you know what, I'm coming on. That is what we need to reward right there. That bit just there, that decision to come on, that decision to engage with us, that decision to really get focused and make that decision to cross that threshold line. That was really powerful. The owners were really happy with what was done. You can see again, she's just making these decisions now to cross over that line. Then we wanted to go to the flirt pole, one of the favorite things, build some real high level fun engagement, and here you can see the end result of that. And I'll let you watch and probably listen to a little bit of me talking on here. So but yeah, just trying to make this garden area the most fun possible for her, and have her just having a whale of a time on that back garden. So hope you enjoyed that, but watch the rest and just see how good she did.
So again, see how I'm just putting a little bit of pressure on it, so I'm just letting her, and then it's like, oh, good girl. So then I kind of want it back. So again, get hold it still, just wait, out, good girl. Oh, you're on your legs. Oh, careful. But look at what we've got now. She's not running off the grass.
Yeah, amazing.
You ready? So she's a little bit stuck again. So again, I'm just going to see whether, oh, good girl. So a little bit of movement, and then ready, get it.
Look how fast you are. Woohoo!
Now, obviously you get a bit dizzy doing this, so sometimes it is nice to do that. And the reason why I like whizzing it that way is because it adds changes of direction, means she moves on to different muscle groups.
Right.
And she gets really into that stalk chase program that for any self-respecting sort of terrier. And you know, she's now on the grass.
Yeah, amazing.
That for how long has she not been on it?
A year?
A year.
Yeah, like maybe longer.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Yeah, we've lived for nearly 2 years.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't think she only went on it for a little bit when we moved in.
The longest she was, it was when we extended the garden, wasn't it? And then she was just digging up the garden.
Right. So what we're giving her is we're giving her a game that she enjoys
Yeah.
on this guard. Now I would do it, I mean you do have to be careful on slabs because if they skid they can shave their pads, so we've just got to be a little bit careful.
Yeah.
But how does this look to you?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. Yeah, amazing.
I mean look at her face.
I know. I mean, I'm clearly, as soon as you're gone, getting one of these.
I'll put everything on the plan for you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you have a quick go before I depart, just so that she can have a go with you rather than it just being me. Good girl. But happy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
great.
happy.
Really
Thank you,
amazing.
John.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, really exceeded expectations. Thank
Oh,
you.
well, I'll take that all day long. Still got a lot to do, but we've got other bits that we need to work on, but we're getting there.
An overnight fix that this is a much more in one session than we thought, didn't we, Riley?
Good
We
girl.
thought we might get a few paws on.
Well, yeah, I mean, one would have been like ideal.
We put chicken on it. She's had like, you know.
Oh, good girl.
Well done.
Right, I'll let you have a go.